And so the first thing that you're going to do is sort of admire your lovely hands and feet and start to roll everything around. Just really simple. Rolling the hands, rolling the feet. You can roll them the other way. And we'll do this for a little bit. I also like to move my head a little side to side, but basically we're getting into kind of the extremities and we're making some space in between the bones, right? Making some space in between the structure, space for there to be energy to flow in between what's solid, right? And then you're going to shake. So this is another way to just move energy, move stuck energy in the body. Shake, 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 shake. And again, you could also add in the head if that feels good. And you could add in a flutter of the lips or some kind of sound, off to just sound, right? Vibrating from the belly all the way up and out. And then come to stillness and close your eyes and just take a couple of moments to breathe and feel the energy moving in your body. Great. And then you're going to go ahead and put the left foot on the ground. You're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. And then let the right knee fall forward. Now here, some people feel like that's plenty stretch. Some people want to actually go deeper. So you could grab this left leg. My hands are behind that left thigh and I'm pulling it in closer. The right knee, meanwhile, is yearning forward in opposition to what I'm pulling toward me. And now find the place where the stretch is, find the place where the sensation is. And send your breath to wherever you feel sensation. Let's stay here 3 more deep, full breaths. So you savor the entire inhale, you pause at the top and then let it go. And you savor that little moment of emptiness at the bottom and then you go again. Filling up, emptying out. Perfect. You're going to switch. So really simple, that right foot will come to the ground, left foot crosses over right thigh, and then you'll hug in the right thigh. Or, some people don't even need to do that. And this is enough, this left knee swinging heavy down and forward. But again, when we want a deeper stretch, we create more opposition. Feel and breathe. Arrive into this pose. Send your breath into the space where you feel the sensation. I really feel it in my outer left hip. And then you're taking those deep breaths like you're sending in nutrients to the space that is calling to you on each inhale. Like you're cleaning out what's clogged on each exhale. Pausing at the tops of the inhales and at the bottoms of the exhales. Perfect. Now you're going to unwind the legs and you're simply going to hug the knees into the chest. And you can spend a couple moments here rocking side to side, bringing awareness into whatever place calls you, right? When we're doing the poses, the meditation practice is easier in a way because the poses call us into places. The body says, oh, here. And it gives us sensation. So just keep following that. You're going to rock all the way up to sit. And you can position yourself either just with, your legs crossed, or you could sit up on your shins if that's comfy. And then this really simple stretch, you're going to lean your right hand down on the ground, take your left arm, and you're going to make a nice arc through this whole side of the body. And that's it, right? So simple. All that we're really doing is creating opposition in the body and then filling the space that the opposition makes with breath. 2 more full breaths here, and you could close your eyes if that helps. You do that inner work, feeling the responding with care and attention. And then you're just going to come up and over other side. And you're dropping down now through the right hip as you pull through the right arm. I like to imagine there's like a weight on my right hip point. So I don't have to struggle so much. It's as if it's happening for me. Then that right arm reaches. And then this just gives us access to this whole side of the body, which we fill with light, breath, care. Great. You're going to come up and then make your way onto hands and knees. And you can do a few rounds of cat and cow here. I like to coordinate the cow pose with my inhale and the cat pose, that's the rounded spine, with my exhale. But that's not, you could switch it. You could switch where you have the inhale and exhale. But what I care about now is find a rhythm. Find a little sweet rhythm. And yours may be a little different than mine. You've got a different set of lungs, right? You've got different things going on in your body. Can you kind of pause at the top of the inhale so you just savor that? You're not in any rush to get away. And then you exhale and you're not in any rush to finish that. All right, next move is going to be downward dog. So you're going to tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, find your way in downward dog. So I just want you to notice this week, as you move around your life, notice opposition, right? Notice how two parts pulling away from each other create poles. And that when we kind of pull the poles away from each other, we get new experiences, new space, new information, new access to health, right? So here, what are these opposites? Can you push the feet into the ground and feel that the hips oppose, the hips lift up? Squeeze your belly to activate and lift the hips more. The head drops down toward the earth. The chest is even kind of yearning toward the thighs. Keep breathing and then drop your heels toward the ground. I like to spread my toes out here as I do this, and that activates the backs of the legs. Feel the hip points of the sits bones moving up as the heels move down. Opposition gives us this whole experience. Now take the right foot and just place it to the center, more toward the left foot, toward more the center. Okay, because we're going to pick up the left leg. So now you're more of a three-legged table here. And then just feel what happens as you lift the left leg, drop the right heel more, opposition. Some people like to open the hip, right? Stack the left hip on top of the right. That's fine. Everybody take one more big breath here, head dropping. And then as you exhale, replace and switch. So now the left foot's kind of in the middle, the right leg lifts. And as you create a new point of opposition, there's new inner sensation, or there's new information. You could open the hip, you could bend the right knee. Be fascinated by the spaces you're opening, right? By the sensations that you're initiating. And then you're going to find both feet on the ground again, and you're just going to go ahead and walk. Actually, you're going to take a little walk forward to the front of your mat, and then we'll spend a few breaths just hanging over the legs. Some people like blocks under the hands. Some people like to put a little softness to the knees. In fact, it's early in the morning, right? You may want to just go ahead and do that, a little softness in the knees so that you can actually really feel your way into the pose. I'm just going to adjust the mic around a little bit here. And then here's another place where if you want to make a little sound or flutter the lips or shake out a little bit like we did at the beginning, you could do that, because here the upper body gets to kind of hang and dangle. And that's a nice opportunity for it. to make more space between the vertebrae, right? Okay, and then you're gonna let the arms and the head dangle like a rag doll. You're gonna soften those knees and you're gonna round up. Feel yourself moving through every vertebrae. Until you're standing. And then we're gonna do this really sweet version of a tree pose here with an option to add in an arm variation. Okay. So one thing that I really want us to be feeling today is connection, right? We're connecting between parts. Inside, you've got parts that are very solid, the kind of structural parts, bones, for instance, and strong muscles. And then we've also got parts that are supposed to have more space and movement. So here, first find the structure, find your feet and find the structure of the earth underneath you. Drop the right heel further into that and lift the left leg. So let the left leg become light. The right leg takes on the role of column support. Left foot can go up into the thigh. It could go onto the calf. It could even go toes on the ground, right? Here we are. But find that sense of solidity and then engage your belly, right? We want this sense of solidity at the core. And then you could keep your hands wherever feels right, or you could join me in this little Qigong edition with the arms. Palms up in front of your belly. And then you're gonna slowly use the inhale to lift the hands up. Yep, the hands turn around overhead. I'm just trying to make it so you can see me. And then you come down, that's it. That's the exhale. Now inhale, the hands come up through the center line, combing up through the chakras. Then you turn them around and you sort of graze your outer aura. Do that 3 more times. So the hands are really working with the energy, this what's in between the structures, right? Cleaning out the spaces. The legs and your core are the tree rooted into the earth, belonging to the physical realm. Now, the next time it happens naturally, just let your hands join in prayer in front of your heart. Replace that left foot to the ground. Pick up your right foot, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Good, you guys get it. Okay. So I want you to first think about that sense of solidity, like what is solid, and then really work that, right? Really work the foot into the earth, the right foot into its standing leg. Engage that belly, get taller. And then those of you who want to do this hand variation, it starts with palms face up in front of your low belly, and then you comb up slow. The hands turn around above, and then just gently graze this circle of energy around you. And I'll let you continue that. Your eyes resting in one place in front of you. We'll do a couple more, but just really slow and sweet. And just when it happens naturally, don't disrupt your flow. Your hands will come back into prayer in front of your heart. And then you'll go ahead and step that right foot down. Okay, really, really simple. We're gonna do one more standing pose on each side, and then we're gonna take it back to the floor because 20-minute classes, wow, they go fast. Triangle, that's all. So set up triangle pose with the right toes pointing forward, left foot. We're gonna just do one after the other. So if you're pointing the other way, that's okay. Right hand comes to the shin or maybe to a block outside of the shin. Left arm to the sky, 5 breaths. This is it. And just notice, right? What are we doing here? We're plugging feet into the earth. We're lifting hips out of feet, heart out of hips. There's a lot going on in each pose. Don't get too much in your head. Just find the oppositions and then find those spaces of sensation in between. Fill them with breath and you're doing perfect. 4, 5. Awesome. Other side. Come up really clearly, strong through the core, strong through your legs. And then just switch the feet so that you're going the opposite way. Okay. Left hand connects to the shin, right arm reaches to the sky. Or maybe you've got a different version. There's different versions of all these poses. Breathe deeply. The information about which variation you do has to come from inside. Breathe deeply for 4. Don't be afraid of the top of the inhale to kind of hang out there for a sec. And then don't be afraid of the bottom of the exhale. You can live there for a moment. Great. And then you'll come on up. Looking at the time. Okay, great. So come to the top of your mat. We're going to do a transition that's going to land us back in downward dog. Inhale, raise your arms up. Look up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. If you jump back, you could do that. Otherwise, you could just step on back and take a little chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open up the heart, stretch your belly, and then downward dog. Anybody watching, if the vinyasa sequence is something you need help with, I've got lots of tips for that and different versions of it. But for now, everybody, downward dog. Notice if this downward dog feels a little bit different than the one we did a few minutes ago. And then from here, you're going to come forward into plank pose again, and then land all the way on your belly. The lighting isn't so great, but okay. From the belly, let's do Sphinx pose. So elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Spread out your fingers in front of you. Press down through the arms. Reach the back of your heart forward through the front of your heart as you drop your elbows down. Now I want us to make a little face in the space. Space in the face. You might just want to kind of move it around for a few moments. Or flatten the lips again. But then what we're ultimately going to do is actually open the jaw really wide, stick out the tongue, and take a lion's breath. That's what bulge your eyes. So first breathe in, and then stick out the tongue. Do that one more time and see if the tongue will go out a little bit further. Perfect. Now just lay down for a moment and just wiggle out your hips. And we've actually just got one more pose in this little sequence today. And it's also going to work with the back of the heart. I just wanted you to feel that pose first, which is a little bit more active version. And you could do something like that instead of what I'm about to show you if what I'm about to show you feels too vulnerable or uncomfortable. So what's going to happen is essentially one block is going to go behind your heart right about here. And then you're going to lay back on it. And that's how we're going to end the practice. But you can use different things behind the heart. You could use a rolled up blanket, right? I've got a nice yoga blanket here that I'm gonna roll. That could be a lovely thing. Yesterday I found myself on on a kid's playground and found some toy or something that I was able to like lay back on, and it felt so good. So you could be creative with that. But for now, find whatever you got. And we're going to get nice and cozy for this last pose of the practice. So I also have a block under my head. You might just want a pillow under your head, but the head will probably want somewhere to land and not just be free floating. Really important that you get to this space kind of right below the shoulder blades. If you're too high or too low, it'll feel funky. You can always reach out to me and I will help you hop on a call with you or make an extra little video about getting this right. And then do whatever you like with the legs. Extend them. Some people like to put the feet together, knees apart. And basically we're going to breathe here. We're going to finish up our practice here, resting, letting the heaviness and the kind of structure of the chest and the shoulder girdle rest on this block or blanket. And for these last quiet moments, I want you to return to that sense that every inhale is this gift that you are just happy to be with right at the top. And every exhale is this wonderful, sweet relief. And you're happy just to sit for a moment at the bottom of it.